Crizac IPO, allotment has been done, and if you are one of those lucky investor who has got the allotment, you might be thinking what to do with that allotment, whether to sell it or to hold it on the listing day. So in this video, let's discuss some of the important things which helps you to decide whether to sell it or to hold it. Crizac IPO. We all know that Crizac has a great fundamental numbers behind it, but we also know the fact that it is little overvalued when compared to the peer companies. IPO size was 860 crores, out of which the complete 860 crores is OFS, offer for sale. Not a single rupee is going to business development. So talking about anchor investors, many of the prominent anchor investors participated in this IPO. They invested 285 crores. Some of the prominent anchor investors were Allianz Global, Pine Bridge, Axis Max Life, Bandhan Mutual Fund, and many more. Crizac is a B2B international education platform which facilitates student recruitment for top global universities, primarily in UK, Ireland, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. An important factor to note here is 95% of the revenue is flowing from UK alone, a very concentrated business model. Let's talk about this factor later in this video. So now let's talk about fundamentals and financials of this. Average ROE at 43%, average ROCE at 45%, and 3-year average revenue growth is at 76% CAGR. The profit growth is at 18% CAGR. This also says that the company runs an asset-light, high-margin business, but it is heavily dependent and relied on student mobility and foreign regulations, which is the main factor we need to keep in our mind while investing in this company. So what is the current GMP suggesting us? What will be the listing day expectation? So as of now, 7th of July, GMP is at 39 rupees to 42 rupees. At the listing price could be somewhere between 284 rupees to 287 rupees. 15% to 17% listing gain. But here is a caution. GMP was even higher before, but recently it cooled off. And listing is heavily dependent on the listing day sentiment and market mood. Global markets have seen a small correction recently. So with all these things, we can expect somewhere between 275 to 285 rupees, which could bring at least 10 to 15% of listing gain for us. So let's come to the very important part of this video. What is the strategy on the listing day? So if it lists anywhere between 280 to 285 rupees, I feel it is better to offload entire stakes. And if it lists below 275 rupees, it is better to offload 50% of our stakes and wait for 1 or 2 quarters, looking for its quarterly growth and further thinking about whether to sell it or to accumulate more in the coming quarters. The entry to this stock is somewhere around 250 rupees. Avoiding entry about 290 is advisable. Here is my final verdict considering the macros and market context. Global visa tightening in UK, Australia, and Canada makes it very difficult going further. 95% of the revenue is flowing from UK. It is a very concentrated risk. Currency risk, the rupee depreciation, it is one of the factors which may affect the student mobilization in the future. The business is great, profitability is very good, fundamentals are excellent, but the IPO is fully priced. There is no additional value on the table for the investors. So I personally feel to let the dust settle post IPO before taking any fresh exposure. Thank you for watching.